Hello and welcome to the Sunderland fan page YouTube channel. I'm sorry there hasn't been many uploads on this channel, but I've been away with school and there hasn't been an upload in about a week. But we're back, and this time we've finally got a match preview. So today at 7:30 PM Sunderland are playing South Shields away from home. Obviously it's not far, but I don't really know a lot about South Shields, so I've just got everything that I need to talk about them and up on here. So South Shields is a non-league club that was first founded in 1888. It plays its home matches at Mariners Park, which is in South Shields, I'm guessing, but I don't know a lot about them. So their nickname is the Mariners. I don't know why. But I'm just gonna take a look at their matches and how well they've been doing. Obviously, I think they're in either the National League or the Sunday League, I don't even know. But I think they might be in the same league as Gateshead and Hartlepool, but I'll check. So they've won the majority of the games. There's one that they lost in February. Their last game was against Warrington Town. I think it was last week. No, it wasn't. It was 2 months ago. That's the league they're in. They're in the non-league Premier. Non-league Premier. That's what it's called. The last game was against Warrington Town, where they were beaten by 2-1. No, not really. But we're going to go through their team sheet, which is actually quite interesting because they've got 2 ex-professionals, one of them playing for Sunderland and one of them playing for Newcastle. We're going to start with goalkeepers, and then we're going to move on to defenders, and then we're just going to go through the positions. So starting off with goalkeepers, we've got Jack Norton, who I don't know really. He's a goalkeeper. And also in the goalkeeper spot we have Liam Connell. I think moving on to the defenders, we'll have Dylan Morse, Anthony Callahan, Lewis Story, Darren Law, Gavin Cogden, Craig Baxter, and that's it for the midfielders. The defenders. Now moving on to midfielders, with both of the ex-professionals being in this part of the pitch. I'll leave them to last, but first up we'll have Michael Richardson, Lee Scroggins, Josh Gillies, Phil Turnbull, Barry Smith, Andrew Stevenson, Rob Briggs, the ex-Newcastle professional. I've never heard of him, but he's called Matty Patterson. I'm judging by the picture that he's got on the team sheet. He was an ex-pro because he's got a Newcastle shirt on, but this looks like quite a while ago when they were sponsored by Northern Rock. And also the ex-Sunderland professional Julio Arca, who is, I think, their captain. Really good player. Obviously used to play for Sunderland. and it'll be interesting to see how he still plays with him being older now. Moving on to the forwards, we have Carl Finnegan, John Shaw, Luke Sullivan, and that's it. So they've got, that was the team news. That's pretty much everything I know and everything that I can, I can gather something else. And where did South Shields finish in the league? South Shields finished second in the Northern Non-League Premier, so it's not bad. They won 3 of the last 5 games, losing the league title to Farsley Celtic, who won them by 3 points because they won that extra game that South Shields didn't. And that's really all I can gather on them, apart from a video that I'll watch off camera and give you feedback on. So I've just watched that video then, and to be honest, it was pretty bad. All it was telling us is the midfielders that we have, and that the player Phil Turnbull said South Shields' winning culture means beating Sunderland tonight, so they are desperate to beat us, says Phil Turnbull. I'm going to read some of the article that come along with the video because that seems quite interesting. So it says, South Shields midfielder Phil Turnbull wants to forge a winning culture at the club by beating Sunderland in their opening pre-season friendly. Jack Ross is expected to name a strong squad while we visit a sold-out Mariners Park as we're preparing for our season. A crowd of over 3,300 is expected. Both clubs are looking to bounce back from promotion, so they're looking to get promoted, so that's confusing because they finished second in the league, but I guess you have to finish first. But that's really all I have to say about it. So we're going to move on to Sunderland and what they have on the game. So moving on to the news about Sunderland then. We've just got an article 6 minutes ago saying McGeady and Max Power are ruled out for tonight's game. And it says Sunderland will be without Aidan McGeady and Max Power for at least 2 opening friendly games. I'm not sure why, so we're just going to have a read on this. So Jack Ross's players will get their first match this evening against South Shields before returning to the Academy of Light for Saturday's behind the closed doors game, which I didn't actually know about, so I'm not sure who will play in there, but I doubt there'll be a video on that since it's behind closed doors and there's nothing we can really do to see it. Jack Ross has revealed that we'll be without McGeady, who is still injured from his problem with his foot from last season, which isn't a good sign for us. And also Max Power is still injured from the game against Charlton at Wembley when he had to go off in the opening 5 minutes, so that mustn't be good if it's lasted this long. Jack Ross has said that McGeady should return to training this week, but he'll miss today and Saturday's game. The earliest he could be involved is when we go to Portugal, but that might even be able that might be too soon. Couldn't get my words out there. Max Power, he says he's recovering well, but he could still be possibly out for another 3 or 4 weeks, which isn't a very good sign. So we're going to move on then to what Jack Ross has to say about the pre-season opening game. So Jack Ross is pleased with the early signings he's made. What we're going to do with this is what the article saying. It's saying the Black Cats will make a short 5-mile journey to Mariners Park from the Academy of Light for a 7:30 kick-off. I'm reading here, we are actually training right now for a high-octane training session before the game tonight, which I'm not sure why that is, but he says the players have worked hard over the opening week or so of pre-season training. I think that's all we really have to talk about for today's game. Also, McLaughlin's returned to training. He's been given an extended break due to international duty with Scotland, meaning he's only returned today. There's also a video on it which I'm going to watch and then give some. The video then was just showing some of the training that the goalkeeper was doing yesterday, with it in McLaughlin's first training session, which gives us doubts that he will be playing tonight. But we have got some new keepers that we've signed, including, I think he's called Sam Birch, from Coventry. I'm not sure if I've got his first name right, but I can't remember. Did make a video on that last week when we signed him. But I think that's about it for today's video. So also keep a lookout on the channel for in the match review, where I'll be watching the match as live as it happens and giving updates and then giving my thoughts on the game. Also look out for my reaction to the to next season's home and away kit, which I'm looking forward to filming that video. And the away kit just come out, it was either today or yesterday, the reveal. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're interested. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time. Hi lads.